Greetings YouTube, Kevlar Chicken here, coming in with another review. Now this time I'll be doing a very simple one, and it's a blank gun, not a real one, a blank or a signaling gun. And it's by a company called Retay. It's a replica of the Glock 17 and chambered in 9mm. So without further ado, I will open the box. Like I said, none of my videos are unboxings. This has been used, so let's go. So now with the visual representation quickly out of the way, don't worry, I will show it off a bit more just in a second. I would like to briefly talk about what this gun can and cannot do. It's a simple blank gun, pretty much used for either parties or for a distress signal. If you're stuck somewhere camping and you fire off a rocket, someone can see you and you can potentially get help. Now I have mainly used this for New Year celebrations ever since 2017, and I haven't had much problems with it. That's pretty much the only time I use it, because otherwise I live in a populated area and this does make noise. And you know, someone running around with a pretty real looking gun banging in the air when it's not party time, you know, not a good idea. Now I will quickly show you the gun itself. This is it. Pop this here quickly. Safety first. Clear. And even though it's a blank gun, still should be safe. Now this is the magazine. I'm not sure how much it's supposed to hold, but the spring in this is very it's very tight. It's very hard to fit more than 10 rounds, but you don't really need more for celebrations, who cares. Now it comes also with this attachment, and it's not a silencer. This is just what you insert the rockets into, so the signaling rocket. So the way this works is you screw this on here, and I will quickly show you the rockets that are that can fit in this. By rockets I mean just fireworks, firecrackers, just whatever. So this is it. There's instructions on exactly how to put it. Just put this here, and once you pull the trigger, you do need a blank bullet in there, and it kind of hits the end cap of the firework. It flies away and it splashes into whatever type of firework you chose, pretty much. There's fancier ones, there's just normal splash ones, so you get the point. This is how it looks. Now I do not recommend tilting it too much downwards, because as you can see, it does fall off. It's not a super tight fit with these fireworks, and this is like a $55 gun, at least it was back in 2017. I believe it's from a Turkish company. Now what would I rate this? Honestly, pretty much like a 5 out of 10. Not because there's anything wrong with it to give it more, but because it's just a thing that does what it's supposed to do for a cheap price. but you can sense the cheapness. One of the things I do not like on these is that it does not have a safety. It does not have anything on the side here, aside from maybe the trigger. You can see it's like doubled up, and if you don't press it all the way down, it will not fire. But that's a very minor safety, and I know it's a blank gun, so maybe Americans are too used to it, but you can still hurt yourself with it, so I would appreciate it more if it had something, you know, a little bit more robust as a safety. Like I said, this is pretty much only usable for celebrations, and if you're stuck somewhere, I guess camping, and there's a search party for you. If you're ever in such a fucked up situation, you can just, you know, take a few rockets and maybe people will have an easier time finding you. I guess you can also use it for practice, because it does have somewhat recoil and a more realistic bang than an air gun would, but there is no projectile. And I do appreciate the fact that it comes with a cleaning kit for the barrel, although I would recommend getting this cleaned by the gun store that you purchased this from, because technically unscrewing anything from the top here, like this little thing, if you don't own a gun license, where I live, unscrewing this thing can be considered as an attempt to make this be able to chamber actual 9mm projectiles, and it's technically not legal. Also, you risk fucking up the gun, which is like not what you want to do anyway, so I just recommend paying for a cleanup if it ever needs one. What I do not like about this is that it's very top heavy. Because it's such a cheap gun, in order for the barrel to be able to withhold the, you know, the inner pressure of the bullet going off, even though it's just a low powder load, you know, it's a blank gun, they made this top part so thick. This is like 90% of the heft of the gun, and it feels more like you're holding a hammer. It just wants to go this way. In the bottom part is just polymer, which is basically high quality plastic, and it just feels super clunky. If it wasn't for this, I would have given it a 6 out of 10, honestly, because it does come with the cleaning kit and you don't need to buy this separately, which I still appreciate. Like, a lot of companies would have made you buy things like this separately, especially at this price. In the box, it's a pretty nice box to store it in, just pretty much like a real gun. There's many different iterations of the signaling rockets you can get, so don't get stuck on these, but these work just fine. Now, would I recommend this? Well, if you just want something to experience like I did, I just wanted something with powder without going through all the hassle of getting a real gun in my country, which is nearly impossible for a civilian, especially if you're not in law enforcement and so on. And you know, I had some good times from 2017 to up until this year, where I just let off a few bangs and it felt nice. But overall, it's like a 5 out of 10. It does what it's supposed to do, but nothing more. So I would say if you want that, yes, but if not, no. Honestly, 5 out of 10. If they address the issue of it being way too top heavy and make it a little bit more balanced, then I would consider it like a 6 out of 10. But, or if they add a safety. My main concern is there is no safety, because signaling blank guns, they do still let out, you know, heat, and you can still burn your face. And if you put it like this right next to your palm, well, guess what? Your palm becomes the projectile. It's still dangerous. So and my opinion on these for home defense is just don't. What if someone, you just elevate the threat and someone can come with a real gun, like they know you have is something that can be effective up to like 6 feet at most. Even if you have the pepper spray bullets, I forgot to mention those are a thing. I do have them, but honestly I just have them for collection purposes. They were never used ever since I bought them. Maybe I'll make something like a test, but I'll need to have a mask. So yeah, rant over, and thank you for watching. If you wanna see more videos like this, like and subscribe, and check out the rest of my channel.